cast iron cooking. Did a lot of cooking. I'm terrible when it comes to people, but product photography is my deal. Really cool looking camera. So what have we been doing since my last video? We went on 2 camping trips out to American River Resort, me and my sweetie. There should be 2 vlogs for them, so if you only see one, there's another one coming. We took it a little bit easier for both of these camping trips. In the past, we would go out thrift store shopping like the whole weekend, or we'd go explore the whole weekend. This time we just stayed closer to camp. Did a lot of cooking. We've been getting into cast iron cooking. It's very interesting. The thing about cast iron cooking is you gotta make time for the cleanup. Not just a matter of washing out the pan, you know. Cook your food. Hopefully your seasoning was strong enough that it didn't stick too much. If your seasoning was good, it didn't stick too much, you could probably just wipe it out with a paper towel. If not, you might need to get some kosher salt to kind of rub the food out. Or, my favorite, keep the pan hot, throw in some hot water, use the power of steam. But then you also gotta do a mild re-seasoning after every other cooking. Otherwise your seasoning gets weakened, I guess, or something like that. I don't even know if we're doing this right, to be honest. This whole cast iron thing, like I said, we're just getting into it, and we are enjoying it. So we did one bit of thrift store shopping during this last camping trip. Yeah, we went to one thrift store and we found an 8-inch Lodge skillet. Nothing special. It was pretty cheap, but it was also pretty rusty. We definitely weren't going to be cooking anything on it anytime soon. And you know, we've been watching videos how to restore cast iron pan. You know, I got myself a wire brush, put on my power drill, cleaned that thing up all the way down to the bare cast iron metallic finish. So I've been seasoning it, and it's much darker. I've been doing stovetop seasoning, and then today I did toaster oven seasoning. It's looking promising. On our first camping trip, we went to a thrift store really quick, once again to look for cast iron. And as we were leaving, I just turned a corner, I found this camera lens, Minolta mount. I had the Minolta MD to Canon EF-M lens adapter, $8. I picked it up, and apparently it's a really bad lens, based off the reviews. I took a couple of pictures with it, and it didn't seem too bad. Time will tell. In my experience, from what I saw, it looked pretty good. Minolta MD, 35mm focal range, f2.8, came in the original box and everything. If it really turns out to be a terrible lens, well, I'm out like, what, $8? But if it turns out to be half decent, boom. So that was on our first trip up. Most recent camping trip where we got the cast iron. So we went to a thrift store in Cameron Park. This thrift store happens to be the thrift store where I purchased my first vintage lens, which was during one of our first camping trips together. I bought that for $5 and it turned out to be really good. I still have it. But yeah, that kicked off a whole phase where I was getting a bunch of vintage gear, but I kind of dialed it back down because I don't have time to use all of it. I have like 4 or 5 50mm lenses. I only ever use like 2 of them, but I got options. So the Cameron Park thrift store, we hadn't found any cast iron. Sheila was just looking at some clothes really quick. This store has one of those cabinets where they have the high dollar stuff. I've seen interesting stuff in there in the past, but I never actually bought anything out of it. This trip, I went over there and I noticed an old Canon P rangefinder camera. The price was only $25. And I just go to Bing, search for Canon P. And I'm looking at it, I was like, you know, it's a pretty good camera. It's kind of actually not super common. Whenever I go to thrift stores, the most common vintage film cameras I see, Minolta XG series, some sort of Pentax, and the Canon AE1. Those are the most common vintage film cameras I see. And I always see that Canon AE1 for like $50 to $60, sometimes $80. I'd never seen a Canon rangefinder before. It was super clean. When I looked it up online, it's like a clone of a Leica M3 apparently. I was looking at pricing on these cameras online for just the body alone, and I'm seeing like at the low end 70 to 80, and at the medium to high like 150 and up for like just bodies. I'm like, okay, why is this camera over here only $25? So I was thinking, you know, I don't really need another camera that I'm not going to use. I have a Minolta XG7. I actually bought film for that thing, and I still have yet to use an entire roll of film to develop. Actually, no, I did, but then I was using the camera wrong, so I never developed that film. So I reset, put new film, and I still have yet to take enough pictures to develop. We were there for a few more minutes. I kept getting drawn back to that display cabinet. I was like, oh, I don't know. Based on what I'm seeing online, this is a steal, and if anything, it's a really cool looking camera. and it's a rangefinder. I don't have any rangefinder cameras. That was my thought process. And I decided, you know, I'm at least gonna take a look at it. Maybe that's an interesting lens there. Canon P uses an M39 screw mount by Leica. So it's not like I could just throw it onto mine because I don't have an adapter for that yet, which I will be getting soon. Anyway, I decided, let me just take a look at the camera. Let me get it in my hands and let's take a look. $25. I get the camera in my hands. It feels so good. It feels so solid. I take a look at the lens, take off the lens cap. Canon f1.2. Like, whoa, the fastest lens I have is a f1.7. And it was at that moment I was like, all right, I'm going to risk losing $25 to see if this camera will work. I didn't really even bother to open the camera up to see if there's fungus or anything, which I probably should have. I was just like, you know, okay, worst case scenario, it's a $25 piece for still photography. I could probably get some really nice photos with my current setup. Product photography, that's my thing. Cars, electronics, cameras, I love product photography. I'm terrible when it comes to people, but product photography is my deal. Anyway, bought it, brought it home, took the lens off. Great, kind of hazy. For $25, I don't know if I necessarily have a functioning camera yet or a functioning lens yet, but you know, I checked the shutter speeds and everything. It seems to function at all the shutter speeds. Aperture opens so wide and the aperture blades move smoothly. So I'm hoping in terms of lens functionality that it's good, because I'm gonna open this thing up, I'm gonna clean it. I got lens cleaners and everything, because apparently it was a common issue, the haziness, and you might be able to fix it with a lens cleaner. If not, the pictures from this lens will have their very own touch and feel, I guess. But I want to make sure that there's no mold, and if there is, I'm going to clean it out, because I do want to try to adapt this to my M50, and I want to see how this thing looks. Was it the steal of the century? You know, possibly. With the lens not being the greatest condition, I'm still seeing stuff on eBay for $50, $60, $80 for like busted lens. Who knows? Maybe someone will still want it just to have it, but I don't even know if I'd want to do that. Yeah, so I'm excited. I bought the spanner wrench to take the lens apart. Then I got a adapter for the M39 to EFM. And I'm only going to take off the rear elements to clean them up. The front looks pretty clean. It's the rear element that's a little hazy. And I don't know if it's mold or if it's just the oil, because apparently what causes it is the oil. So it could just be a residue from the oil. I'll give you guys an update on that in the future. And with that, I'm here to pick up my sweetie. We're gonna go get something to eat. All right, thanks for watching. Pray for our country, pray for our leaders, pray for our republic. And with that, God bless the republic.